Hey, this is Gary from 3Bug Media, and today we're going to talk about SEO for local businesses. Now, most people turn to the internet when they're searching for a local business. So it's really important if you're a local business to make sure that people can actually find you, and that's where local SEO comes into play. So I'm just going to give you a little overview today of what makes up SEO and how you as a local business can do some of these things yourself to increase your presence online. When it comes to SEO for local businesses, I like to call it TLC plus GMB. TLC is an acronym I use for SEO, and that refers to technical, links, and content, which makes up SEO. So if you're only doing one thing, say you run a blog, technically you're not really doing SEO, you're doing a part of SEO, but without making sure your site is technically sound and you're not getting links to your website, then it's not really a full SEO strategy that you're doing. And GMB is Google My Business. So if you're a local business, I assume you already have your Google My Business listing claimed, you filled it out properly, it's optimized, and that's the second component when we're talking about local SEO. But for today, we're going to concentrate on the TLC because that seems to be the part where a lot of local businesses, small businesses, seem to have a little trouble understanding of what it is and how it's used. So like I said, TLC is broken down into three parts: technical, links, and content. You need to get all three of those working together because each one enhances the other one. So if you're creating a lot of content, but your site isn't technically sound and you're not getting any links, it's very unlikely that your content's actually going to show up on page one of Google. Same thing if you're getting a lot of links, but you don't really have content, or you have really crappy content on your website, then chances are you're still not going to rank. And if you're doing both of these and Google can't index your website, or it's incredibly slow and they refuse to rank it, then it also doesn't matter. So you need to have all three of these in place in order to have a real SEO strategy going. So let's start with technical. Technical, site structure. Make sure that your site is structurally sound. It's easy to navigate. If somebody comes to your website and they can't find where they want to go right away, chances are they're going to leave and go to a competitor. Google looks at that and they call that actually a bounce back. So when somebody does a search in Google, they click on a link, they go to a website, and then 20 seconds later they come back and they start searching again. That's a clear signal for Google that that person could not find what they wanted on your website. Okay, and that is a ranking signal, and that's going to hurt you if you have a lot of bounce backs and you have poor time on site because people are getting frustrated because they can't find what they want. So make sure your site makes sense as far as navigation goes, and it's easy to find content no matter what page they are on your website. The second one is speed. This is a direct ranking factor. Google announced that a couple of years ago. So make sure your website loads fast, and it doesn't cause a lot of delays, things like that. And there's a lot of speed tools, tests that you can use online to run your website through to see how fast it is. Okay, so it doesn't need to be lightning fast, but it needs to be fairly fast. So you want to make sure that you don't have 10 megapixel pictures on your website and it's causing a long time to load a page, things like that. You just want to have it fast and nimble. So make sure your website loads properly. Indexing is another issue. If you have technical issues on your website that you as a non-technical person may not be able to see, everything may look okay as a viewer on your page, but you could have some technical issues that's causing the search engines not to be able to index your website. And indexing is what happens is the search engines, I'm going to talk about Google mainly, they come to your website, they crawl all the pages, and then they decide what pages they're going to index in their, in their search results, and how and where they're going to show them. Okay, so if they have issues on your website, they may not index pages that they should be. So you need to make sure that all your pages are getting indexed properly. And a great tool for that is Google Console. Just go to google.com. Just type in Google Console. It's a free tool by Google. You can add your website to it, and it basically monitors your website and it shows you what Google thinks of your website. It'll tell you about technical errors. It'll tell you if what pages are being indexed, if you have any problems or issues or anything like that. Google will actually let you know and give you an opportunity to fix them. Okay, so these are your technical issues. Over here, we're going to talk about links. And a link is when another website adds a hyperlink to your website. So if somebody's on their website, they click on the link, they go to your website. That's what we call a link. Okay, and some easy ways if you're a local business to get links. Social media and review profiles. So, your Facebook, LinkedIn, Yelp, things like that. Even if you don't plan on using that platform, claim those social media profiles, claim those accounts, add your business information, make sure it's accurate, and you get a link back to your website. They're not super strong links, but those are good local links to get, and it's kind of a starting point. Local directories. Every city, country, industry is different when it comes to what local directories you should add your business to, or what industry directories you should add your business to. A good way to find this is go to Google, search for your business, search for your competitors, and do some searches as if you're a customer trying to find a business like yours, and go through the first 2 or 3 pages of the search results and see what directories show up. Any of those directories that are showing up are probably good ones for you to add your business to. Most of the time they're free, so it's probably just more of a time issue of claiming those accounts and adding your business information to them. Sponsorships is another pretty easy one, and we're talking about sponsorships. You can sponsor your local civic club, your farmers market, sports teams, meetup groups, things like that. You can check to see. A lot of times they'll put the sponsors on their website with a link and some of their business information on there. Those are easy links to get if you're looking, if you don't mind spending a few dollars for them. But those are some good solid local links that you can get. And lastly, local blogs and media. So local media, do some interviews with them, contribute some content, things like that. A lot of times it's not too hard to actually get mentioned in local media. A lot of times they're starving for content. You can do some research, find some local blogs in your city pertaining to your industry. You can offer a guest post for them, write an article for them. You can run contests. You can offer products or services to them so they can run a contest to their readership. A lot of times they really like that stuff. It's almost no work on your part besides donating something, and they'll give you a link back to your website for that. Okay, so that's links. And lastly, content. Content is super important because without content, none of these matter. So you need the content in order to actually have an opportunity to rank for something. And then once you have the content, the links and the technical part will actually help push that content up higher in the search engine rankings. If you've never created content before for your website, here's some easy ways that you can do it. The one I like the best is take your top 20 questions. So what are the top 20 common questions potential customers call, or they fill out a contact form, things like that? What are they asking you? Because chances are if they're asking you, there's a lot more people online that are searching for these questions. Turn each one of these into a blog post, at least 500 words, add some images, add some statistics, quotes, things like that, and make it a really valuable answer on there. I can almost guarantee you there's nobody else in your local market that's doing it. Almost everybody else creates a one-page FAQ page with all their questions and one sentence answers for them. You'll almost never see an FAQ page ranking in the search engine results. It's kind of like trying to rank an encyclopedia. Google has no idea how or where to rank it because it's covering too many different topics on there. So this is a great place to start your blog. Write out these questions, give long, detailed, thoughtful responses to each one. Another thing I see a lot with local businesses is have dedicated service and product pages. A lot of times a business will have a service page, and all that service page will have are a list of all the services that they offer on there. If you want to do SEO the right way, each one of those services needs to have a dedicated page to it. So if you're a financial planner and you're doing retirement planning, you're doing college planning, estate planning, things like that, then you need a separate page for each one. You can't just throw them all on one service page. It's kind of like the FAQ page. It's too general, it's covering too many topics, and Google doesn't know how to rank it, and it won't. So create dedicated pages for each one of your core services, and that's the only way you're going to be able to rank one of those pages. And lastly, your home page. Your home page is traditionally going to be the most powerful page on your website. It's probably going to have the most views, the most traffic, and the most links coming to your website. So make sure that it's a proper homepage. And when I say proper is you don't need to create too much content for it, but you need to have some content. Don't just have a picture, a picture of, a stock image and then a link to your service page or something like that. Your homepage is a very, very powerful page. So make sure you give some time and thought into it, add a little bit of content, talk about your business, talk about where you're located, things like that, what services you offer, and things like that. And this will help you rank your homepage in the search results. Okay, so this is a little overview of doing SEO for local businesses. Like I said, TLC plus Google My Business. And like I said, if you want to do SEO the right way, you need to pay attention to all three of these, because if one of these is missing or derelict, then chances are you're not going to get really results with the other parts of your SEO strategy. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can go to 3bugmedia.com. Thank you very much and have a good day.